Herman Cain has had 4 sexual harassment charges against him. 2 of those people have come out in public. But the latest accusations are big time trouble for him. He's reeling, man. He's got kind of rubbery legs. I don't know if he's going to make it. I'll share the quotes with you in a second. I think he's in massive trouble and might drop out of the race. So the accusations come from Ginger White. She told the story to a local Atlanta Fox 5 reporter, Dale Russell. She says that she has been in an affair with Herman Cain for the last 13 years. She said, look, it is not sexual harassment. It was a mutually agreed to affair, consensual, etc., that it was in fact quite sexual. Now, the reaction, of course, has been varied. First of all, Herman Cain's people say, oh, did you know that there was the bankruptcy proceedings against her 23 years ago? And then she had filed a sexual harassment claim before that. And then she's had this court order against her. How does that relate to any of this? It doesn't relate at all. In fact, when that reporter from Atlanta calls Herman Cain, first of all, how did he get Herman Cain's number? That's because Ginger White said, look at these records here. I've called him 61 times, or he has called me. We've had calls back and forth and text messages 61 times over a period of 4 months. Now, it stopped in September when he started running for president in earnest, but before that, they're going hot and heavy. Some of those calls are at 4:30 in the morning. Why are you calling a woman you're not married to at 4:30 in the morning, okay? 61 times over the last 4 months. Come on now. Come on. Okay, and then furthermore, it's the same exact pattern that he did the sexual harassment with, but in this case, it worked. He takes her to a fancy hotel, just like some of the other women had described, and he says, oh, how would you like to meet me at another fancy hotel on another business trip, and maybe we stay in the same room? And they do. The next time they meet in Palm Springs, another great hotel, by the way, all paid for from the National Restaurant Association, which he was the head of at the time. He's, I'm busy going restaurant to restaurant, woman to woman. Did I say that out loud? Okay. And in this case, when he propositions her, she accepts, and she's a single mother of 2. And in fact, he's been paying her bills the whole time. So the reporter from Atlanta gets the phone number, calls it, and the guy who picks up goes, hello, this is Herman Cain. He's like, oh, that's awesome. Okay, so he's like, all right, Mr. Cain, do you know Ginger White? She's like, yeah. Okay, have you been having a relationship with her? She's just a friend for a long time. 13 years, she's been my friend. Are you paying her bills? Well, I help her financially from time to time. Why are you helping a woman financially that you are not married to, that you have had a friendship with for 13 years and calling at 4:30 in the morning? Okay, how's that going to work out? You go ahead and tell your wife that, see how that turns out. Well, it's not turning out well. So now that this story was coming out, Herman Cain goes on CNN to do a comical attempt at trying to get ahead of the story. This is fun. Let's watch.
This is CNN Breaking News.
All right, we're just learning from Herman Cain himself that a third woman is about to come out and make some serious accusations against him. We all know the first 2 women accusing you of sexual harassment.
Right.
What can you tell us about this third woman who is about to go public and accuse you of what?
This particular individual, which will be named in the story as we understand it. My attorney has talked with the reporter who's going to come out with this story. This individual is going to accuse me of an affair for an extended period of time. I don't want to specify because I don't know what's in the story. Secondly, it is someone that I know who is an acquaintance that I thought was a friend. That much I do know.
I thought she was a friend because we kept going to hotel after hotel and sleeping in the same bed. But now she done turned around on me. All right, Herman, one more attempt at explanation.
Tell us about the nature of your relationship with this woman.
Friend, and trying to help a friend because not having a job, etc., and this sort of thing. That's all there is to the relationship. And here again, I don't know what's going to be claimed in the story. It was someone who was supposed to be a friend, but obviously they didn't see it as a friendship.
Now, when you say friend, was it I'm asking, these are awkward questions, but I'll ask you the questions you're going to be asked. Was this an affair?
No, it was not.
There was no sex?
No.
None?
No.
And if this woman says there is, she's lying? Is that what you're...
Well, Wolf, let's see what the story is going to be. I don't want to get into, being pinned down on some things until we see what the story is going to be.
Go. So, look, he feels bad enough about her because he's had a 13-year relationship with her that he doesn't want to accuse her of lying. But that lie where he said, oh, no, it was not sexual. No. Sex? What are you talking about, sex? Am I attracted to young boys? Am I attracted to young boys? Okay, that was, of course, Sandusky not being able to answer the question. Oh, come on, Herman, give it up. And in fact, he might be giving it up because now he comes out with these statements. First, J.D. Gordon, Cain's spokesperson, says that they are, quote, doing a reassessment of where we stand and the road ahead. You know what a reassessment means? That means we are dropping out within a couple of hours, at most a couple of days. Well, Herman Cain on a phone call this morning said, quote, we have to do an assessment as to whether or not this is going to create too much of a cloud in some people's minds as to whether or not they would be able to support us going forth. In other words, I'm in trouble, dog. I'm in big time trouble. So he says, was this an affair? He says it was not. He tells the New York Times that. But here's a sense that he's in big time trouble. Now, I actually agree with the statement from his lawyer, and his lawyer's name is L. Linwood, but it gives you a sense that they're trying to assess whether they should lie further about this or not. Quote, this appears to be an accusation of private alleged consensual conduct between adults, a subject matter which is not a proper subject of inquiry by the media or the public. Okay? So, in other words, I'm not saying we didn't do it. I'm just saying you should butt out of it because it's a private affair. Now, the reality is, if that is the case, which I think it is, that they're right. I think it is a private affair. I don't think it is a business of ours. I think the only relevance that it has is that it goes to show that the other women who charged him with sexual harassment might have been right because this woman's story, Ginger White's story, is so similar to theirs.